Well, good afternoon, Cedarfield family. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Those of you that are here at the community, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, both residents and team members. Families that are listening tonight via Touchdown account, we thank you for taking time out of your Friday night to listen to some information about Cedarfield. The format for today is fourfold, actually. We have a guest speaker here, and Mr. Sam Naismith, and follow that with navigating COVID-19. Dr. Amy Shear and Ann Hopper have some important information. Followed up by yours truly with some administrative tidbits, and then we'll round out the hour with Trish Carter with some good news, actually it's great news, and some other words of spiritual well-being. So that is our format. Thank you for listening. So I am going to turn over the mic to Mr. Sam Naismith. Those of you that don't know, as I mentioned yesterday, he and Brenda have lived here since January, believe it or not. Time goes by really quick. They really, both of them enjoy their match made in heaven. They both enjoy traveling and reading. Genealogy is really important to them. So if you haven't gotten to know them, I would encourage you to reach out. So I'm going to turn over the mic to Sam. He's got about 10-15 minutes worth of inspiring words.
Good evening.
Is that push that up? Yep. Go.
Good evening. I want to call your attention to the scarf that I'm wearing. It is called a krama from Cambodia. I normally get these on my mission trip there, lifting up my solidarity with them in the faith journey. They also are in solidarity with us in our advocacy. My wife, Brenda, and I moved into this retirement community a few months ago. The very definition of community is that we have something in common characteristics. Community where a group of people living in the same place, maybe with the same history. We look forward to being here for a while. I came here with an abiding faith and a sustainable hope. What a vision. I'm thankful to say a word relative to the death of George Floyd and the response of protesters around the world. Baba Fisher, chair of the Inclusivity Committee, thought some words ought to be proclaimed from the grounds of Cedarfield. In this important time in history, for history needs to join the chorus of hope. Very exciting that she would feel this way, that it was really important to be on record during this historical moment. The June 4th Richmond Times-Dispatch, our local newspaper, had a headline that said, "Times have changed." They were right. But 400 years of history have not changed the violence against black people. On May the 25th, George Floyd, a 46-year-old African American residing in Minneapolis, Minnesota, died after a white police officer knelt on Floyd's neck while Floyd was handcuffed face down in the street. Floyd had been in a store, and the storekeeper called the police because he suspected Floyd of using a counterfeit $20 bill. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That was the time it took to crush the wind out of George Floyd while he said, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe," and called for his deceased mother. How traumatic. It was captured on video, and we saw the whole thing. The experiences of black men murdered and terrorized by violence has been part of our national history for generations. The death of George Floyd was one in the countless numbers of persons of color who have died while living while black, to name a few recent cases. We know about the situation in Brunswick, Georgia, a young black man who was stalked and shot by a white father and his son in February 2020. Following his death, we know of a young African woman, a medical technician who was fatally shot in March in Kentucky. What happened? The officers stormed her apartment while serving a no-knock warrant under suspicion of drugs in her home. Mr. Floyd's killing has caused outrage and sparked a wave of protest here in Richmond, in our country, and all over the world. I have friends that I have visited around the world who are constantly emailing and messaging and calling me, asking me to tell them what they can do. We have this history of prejudice and racial injustice. This is about the history. This is about what I, in the civil rights movement, as a foot soldier and organizer, have been concerned about all of my life. Racism is real, something that happened in the past. No, it is present here, today, and now. I have two sons. The oldest is over 50 years of age. But you know, I still sit with him and talk to him about how he and my youngest boy, who's 45, how they need to act when they are out, should the police stop them or talk to them. And I plead with them, please, don't be hostile. And if necessary, even say, yes, sir, because we want you to get home at night. The marches today are highlighting the fact that we are treated differently as people of color. It's a fact. No doubt about it. We are treated differently as a people of color. Imagine sending our children out hoping that they will not have to encounter a police officer because they fear that they may be hurt or killed just because they are black. Black lives are not valued. Black men and boys most often are targets of excessive force. Many of my white friends accuse me of being an alarmist. They feel that our fears are blown out of proportion. They even question what they see on television. It is not real. They question whether racism still exists because they don't see it. Well, I want to say they don't see it because it's not directed at them. It's directed at us, or whomever is relevant at the moment. So what is required? What can persons of white privilege do? First of all, they can engage in self-reflection. Admit the terrible truth. The thing that angers me the most is when I tell people how I feel or what is going on, they diminish it. Diminish it? That's what I'm saying. They diminish it or they don't understand. And I can't understand, how can someone live in the same reality that I live in and not understand the dynamics of what is going on or what is happening to me when they are looking directly at it? The voices of black people and other people of color are historically silenced and discounted. And I think that is the disappointing thing that we encounter the most. Then do something. I have a t-shirt that I tried to find just before coming here. It has an ethnic orientation. Do something. Well, we need to do something. Something. Do something. To sit idly by is almost to admit that you agree with those who are doing whatever it is they're doing at the moment. If you see something, do something, say something. Here in June 2020, it takes a video that was captured by a 16-year-old teenager to validate the murder of a black young man. And before the video was shown, the police department had given some ludicrous reason for the young man dying. It was only after the reality of the video that they finally admitted that he really was killed. If you are confined to your apartment, one thing you can do, you can write letters. You can write the politicians, you can write the administrators of the municipalities to let them know how you feel. You can do something. You may be walking with a walker, a cane, a stick, and yet you have a voice. Or you can write the letters to me, and I will see that they get to the appropriate persons. Nelson Mandela, in his infinite wisdom, said, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or the background of his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Out of my tradition, I have a mandate from Micah 6:8. What does the Lord require of you? Well, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
Anybody have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions that they want to text in? We'll wait here a couple of seconds. Nothing coming in there? No questions? Well, you for coming out and sharing those words. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if anybody does have any questions for Mr. Naismith, we can certainly get questions to him. If you have any comments, please, you can either, you mind if I'm going to make a blanket announcement that you can send them his way via email, those of you that have his email on Touchdown, and we're able to stop by down to the administration suite and forward us his questions there. Okay, next up is Dr. Shear and Ann Hopper are here for some words of COVID-19, navigating COVID-19. So, Dr. Shear, Ann Hopper.
This one's for you. Oh, you gonna use that one?
Alrighty. Is this working? Yeah, you good? Okay. Alrighty. You'll move for me. Hello, everyone. So, Ann, how are you today?
I'm good. What about you?
Doing good, doing good.
You staying hydrated?
Yes, it is warm out there, so, I've actually not been able to do as much, running as I normally do with the heat and humidity. It really sucks it out of you.
Right.
Yeah.
So before we get started, Dr. Shear, I know a letter went out from Deborah Ramsey, the nurse practitioner. You work with her. Can you tell us about your status in the practice of AD Senior Medical?
Yes, of course. So, so those that are already patients of myself and AD Senior Medical got a letter. You know, with COVID and with all the difficulty seeing patients in the office, Deborah has decided to close her side of practice, which is.
Get that a little closer to you, because they can't hear it. Either hold it, or probably
Oh.
holding it would even be better.
So, is this better? Yeah. So, Deborah had to close her side of the practice, which is AD Senior Medical, and but I am still here. I'm not planning on going anywhere. So, we just need you to come into the office and sign just a little piece of paperwork, just so that we can kind of transition you over just to me. In the future, you would just call the clinic for scheduling and for any questions, instead of calling, Courtney for some things and the clinic for others. You're just going to go completely through the clinic from now on. But Deborah is still available till the end of July, so hopefully smooth transition. But it's not a big deal from here because I'm not leaving, so there'll be continuity of care. So we just need you to sign just a little, just some paperwork so that in the future, any faxes come to me and not to the old office practice. So that's what that letter was about, and that's what we need going forward. But I still want to keep all the patients, and I'm not looking to retire. I'm not going anywhere. So please, I am still doing clinic and want to continue with that. So.
And you mean office being clinic?
Yes,
Right.
office meeting clinic.
Okay, so they call Bonnie or myself to
Yeah.
schedule appointments.
Yes.
And you see the residents in assisted living, healthcare, memory care, as well as independent
As
living.
well as independent living, so yes, I want to.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Where do we get our recommendations about reopening?
So, CMS on May 18th actually came out with guidelines to reopening for facilities, so for long-term care facilities, and they started, and that's kind of where we've gotten our guidelines from, and I think Cedarfield in general, they have their, phases kind of coincide with those guidelines, as well as kind of state recommendations. So there's several different sources, but the most comprehensive for the long-term care communities is actually from that May 18th guideline, done by the CMS.
All right. And then what are the downsides to this infection are we seeing, or are you seeing?
So, besides, other than COVID itself, obviously, with, our patient population there, so the downsides, of the actual protocols, we're seeing a lot of, increases in, as expected, increases in loneliness, increases in depression, we're seeing some weight loss, failure to thrive. It's not that it was unexpected, but it is, we are seeing the results of that now. So we're really trying to do everything we can to combat that.
Okay. And then what do these phases 1, 2, and 3 mean for that license side? Can independent living go over?
So in those guidelines, it did say that, we really want to maintain a very cautious approach in long-term care. A lot of times, I've heard people be frustrated because a facility hasn't had any cases, and why do they have to be so restricted when there are no active cases? And the reason there aren't any active cases is because, there's been a lot of diligence with keeping people safe, and part of that is that limitation in visitation. The phases that we're talking about, in phase 1 and in phase 2, there's actually, no visitation is recommended, so it's still not, except for that involving kind of compassionate care and special situations, we're really, still very much limiting visitation. So even in phase 1 and phase 2, from the Cedarfield guidelines, we're not recommending visitation in licensed areas. Phase 3 is where we start to allow visitation, but even then, it's with restrictions. So even the visitation in stage 3 is going to be one in which there's still going to be screening, there's still going to be lots of precaution, we're still going to be maintaining social distancing. So again, we need to just be, kind of that very cautious approach for long-term care communities, for, and more so on the licensed side, but also on the independent living side, very, very cautious in our approach with visitation. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned cautious. Why do we have to be so cautious? We're doing a good job, aren't we?
Well, the reason, again, going back to, we are doing a good job, and we want to continue to maintain doing a good job. The long-term care community is a very vulnerable population. In other areas where you've seen, drastic, decreases, obviously, we were able to close schools. We can't close our long-term care communities. We were able to suspend cruises. You haven't heard about cruises. That's because they closed down. We can't stop caring for people here, and we can't not allow people to live in their homes. So that being said, it continues to be a high-risk community, and that doesn't change. We've seen in the news, that these are big, concentrated pockets occur in nursing homes, in assisted livings, in, continuing care communities such as ours. So, a lot of what takes the whole state into and out of phases are, those pockets of increased spread in long-term care communities. So we have to be very, that much more diligent here than we would in other places.
And then why are there different opinions on TV as to what Virginia should be doing? not that we follow Virginia.
Step by step. Yeah, so it is very confusing, and I think we've seen that, especially in the beginning of all of this, that there were different recommendations, in different places, in different counties. Part of that is, the state guidelines versus the county guidelines. You saw where, Richmond said that their cases were increasing, so they didn't want to enter into phase one at the same time. The rest of the state of Virginia was allowed to enter in. So there's, differences depending on, kind of numbers and data. And then there's also difficulty getting accurate data. We definitely saw in the beginning where there was some, didn't want people to know if there was, deaths or cases, especially, we kind of heard about that in other states. I think we've all realized that, we really need to be transparent with all of this. I know Cedar has done a very good job about making, our residents and everyone know, if we've had cases, how many cases, how many tests have been done, that kind of thing. So getting that, accurate data helps your guidelines as well, which in the beginning was very confusing. And then, kind of where we're at with do we have enough PPE? Are we operating on a critical level of PPE or not? That's going to guide what phase you're in, as well as availability of testing. So.
Don't keep it so close to it.
Okay.
All right.
Towards the mic.
What can be done for loneliness, depression, and then the second part, is this a high price to pay?
It is a high price. I do think that, this is affecting our quality of life. And quality of life at this point is very important. Some of us, and we've seen where, we've had patients that have been in hospice that have passed away during this time. And so there are residents here that don't have months and years left. So to take 3 months and not allow, that human contact during this time is very, very difficult. It is a big price to ask for, and I don't think that we ask for that lightly. I do think that, going forward, we're looking at ways to be creative with how to combat this. I think we need to maintain a social distancing. I think, part of that creativity we're seeing with the Memorial Day picnic, and we're looking and talking about doing, more events like that to kind of help, again, create, that social, being and physical touch without
Right.
physical touch.
Right. Okay. And that's all we have?
That's all you got?
Yep.
Any other questions, Lisa? Good. All right, well, thank you guys for having us.
She, both of you.
And I will not to the side this time.
I turned it off.
Okay, Cedarfield Forward, our 3-phase plan. Just a couple of updates with where we're at. We did already talk about our plan compared to what would be phase 2 with the Virginia governor. Just want to highlight again, what is our yardstick? What's our barometer in deciding to head into another phase, or maybe even retreat for a little while backwards. So there are 5 things on the screen here that are really important, not only to Cedarfield, important to the Pinnacle Living Office, important to the Department of Health, and I know many of these items are also important to the team members and residents of Cedarfield. First is June 9th. June 9th is a really important date next week. That will mark the 14th day of when we had a very well planned out, socially distanced Memorial Day party. And so that's one barometer that we want to continue to just keep in the back of our mind. The second is no known cases of COVID-19 at the community. And this one has changed as of our last reporting period. And so a little bit more about that in a slide coming up. Our surveillance tools have picked up a few potential situations that we are looking at. So there are a number of residents in the license side, and there are a number of team members that we have on a surveillance tool. That surveillance tool looks at signs and symptoms. Those of you that are driving into the community are asked every time you come through the gatehouse, your temperature is checked. We're asking people for if you're sneezing or coughing or have a sore throat. And our surveillance tools are working. We are picking up people who have some of those symptoms, and so we just don't ask the questions and then do nothing about the data. And so we've picked up a number of people who have some different signs and symptoms that we are continuing to monitor. The fourth is easing into our phasing plan. Again, we serve the most vulnerable within the population of Richmond. And so while the governor may be announcing a phase 2 commences today, we aren't there yet. We're not only there yet as a community, we're not there yet as an organization, and we're certainly not there as an industry. We are easing into what might be phase 2 in a couple of weeks. We are still in phase 1. For an abundance of caution, to make sure that the things that we have implemented, we're able to capture the situations that may be arising and popping up, and then dealing with them accordingly. And then the fifth is any nursing home outbreaks within the area, and or maybe even things that might pop up here at Cedarfield. So that is if anybody's interested in our dashboard, those are our dashboard items. Earlier in the week, every resident received a mission in the shared values that we are using as the foundation, using as the backdrop to make sure that we are all in this together, making sure that we're all utilizing those shared values to keep ourselves safe and to keep everyone around us safe. We are also, so this isn't just for the residents, we are also having every team member sign that document as a pledge that they will commit to those shared values in order to keep everybody safe. Not only here at Cedarfield, but keeping everybody safe in their own home. Because we all know that we are safer when we are at home. So I am hoping and respectfully, again, asking that you dust off that piece of paper. Hopefully it's on your coffee table. Hopefully you're becoming very familiar with it. You're sharing it with family and friends so that they have an awareness of what our goals are here at Cedarfield in order to keep themselves safe when they're around you when you are not at Cedarfield. Critically important that everybody is on this same page. We talked a little bit about safer at home. We've been talking about safer at home here for the last several weeks, really, since the governor concluded the executive order that said that we were or at a stay-home order. We are safer at home. Hopefully over this next weekend, it's going to be fairly hot, is it not? It's going to be fairly hot. Remember to drink 6 glasses of water a day, and practice safer at home. And additionally, our first shared value happens to be wearing a mask. If you happen to go out this weekend, it is mandatory for the governor. It's mandatory here at Cedarfield that it's the best defense against the virus is wearing a mask. So please, please, please conform to that. And then other two things are really, will become increasingly important as the governor moves into the state that we're moving into phase 2 has to do with contact tracing. So if you're going out and about, and particularly if you are at a beauty shop, a barber shop, a restaurant, if those establishments, those businesses have contact tracing sign-in sheets, please avail your information to them, so in the event that they have an issue, that they can contact you accordingly. Which leads me to one of our shared values. Our eighth shared value has to do with informing. Informing us, if you, team members, family members, residents, informing Cedarfield if you're sick, if you've been in a prolonged exposure, if you have been on a contact trace list, and or if you've been in and around somebody that has COVID-19. It is critical that you relay that information to us. It's not a secret. It shouldn't be a secret in order to protect yourself and to protect everybody here at Cedarfield. You would be amazed how many times Renee and I are fielding information about what to do with certain situations, or the lack of doing it, relaying that information, and we're providing re-education over and over again. So, hate to sound like a broken record, but it is important that you share that information with us. Chesapeake Bank. Can I get a hip hip? Hooray! Chesapeake Bank, they will be back 1 week from today. Jenny will be back, and they will be operating 2 days a week. Next Friday they'll be here, the next couple weeks thereafter they'll be here 2 days a week. So she is so incredibly excited to come back, and so be looking forward to Chesapeake Bank coming back next Friday. Here's COVID-19 by the numbers. We have 64 residents tested. 9 residents have tested positive over this experience over the last several months. And we have 93 team members now. This number has changed since our last reporting period. And the number has also changed of positives. We have 2 more team members that have tested positive. Little construction update. D-Wing is on schedule. We will have our first resident move in on Monday, June 15th. We're very excited not only to have the conclusion of this master plan expansion phase, but more importantly, I'm so excited because there's 27 other lives or more, if we consider spouses coming, 27 other more apartments that will be occupied to add to the community, add to the culture. Those residents bring their experiences, their cultures, their own families, their own perspectives to the community, and it's just going to make our campus that much stronger. So very excited about D-Wing opening in less than 10 days. The countdown is 10. Renee, can I get a 10? 10? Pond dredging is coming along quite nicely. Again, we had some weather delays. They also had some workers that were sick, so they had a little bit behind. But those of you that have been out by the pond can see that they have picked up some steam and have placed the rocks accordingly, so that little clean out bin, we can clean that area instead of dredging that whole pond when we need to, probably every other year. So they're coming to a conclusion with the pond dredging. And I got good news with the garden beds. Can I get another hit? Okay. So we got that piece of paper yesterday that we were talking about for the last week from the county. So they finally gave us the approval, the closure of what we call as a plan of development, meaning the pathways to wellness. The water detention system out by the Parkview entrance was that last little piece that they had to approve and give it to us in writing, which then launched us to be able to start with the garden beds. So very exciting. All the residents that love gardening and or have interest to use that space, Jack and Beth are now rolling in the plans that they have been planning all along to get the garden house out there and to get the appropriate electric and the water, and then most importantly, the garden beds themselves. So all of that is in motion. We're very excited about it. Talk a little bit about the governor already. Families that are listening, that are in and around the Richmond area in which to utilize our supply shuttle program. We'll pick this program back up on Monday for residents living in the independent living apartments. If you have someone that is living in those apartments and you wish to drop off a little goodie bag, please do so at Mayland and Gaston at the parking lot behind the hotels on that corner from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and we will see that they get that bag. I know that many residents comment almost daily of how appreciative they are of the service. The Visitation Vista is coming along quite nicely. I think Jack has some news for us later today about the timing of this particular amenity for next week. So we will make that announcement hopefully early next week. And then I am going to scale these daily live chats back a little bit to once a week, starting next week. So on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock, we will have our weekly live chat. Hopefully that will be enough time to relay important information. If we need to add a day or two in throughout the rest of the month, as we look to maybe phase 3, we need to communicate more often with team members, families, and residents, then maybe we'll add in a Monday or a Friday, and we'll communicate that accordingly so people can put it on their calendars. But starting next week, we're going to scale back to Wednesdays. And then one more thing before we call up Trish, I just want to talk a little bit about our an email I sent to the team members and a phone call I sent to the team members and many residents this afternoon. And I labeled the email called Upholding Our Commitment. Cedarfield has been open, believe it or not, for almost 24 years. And our mission remains the same. The foundation is enriching life's journey. Enriching to me means bringing together our unique backgrounds, our experiences, our cultures, our talents, bringing them forward to enhance the lives of everyone at the community. We just don't encourage this, we actually rejoice in it. We thrive on it. It's our differences that make this community such a vibrant place to live and work. And by choosing to be inclusive, as Barbara Fiske will often tell us, we are creating a true sense of belonging among our residents and team members. Because we understand that diversity and inclusion is a gift, I just want to openly say that I am deeply grieved by the injustices around the world and the subsequent unrest occurring across our region and our country. No person should ever be harmed or threatened or afraid because of the color of their skin, how they choose to worship, or even whom they love. These injustices just cannot be tolerated and cannot be ignored. As a Cedarfield community, more so now than ever, our resolve is to protect and to support our team members and our residents. We will do whatever it takes to continue to live and to work in a safe and inclusive environment. And we encourage residents and team members to engage in constructive dialogue and actions that affect positive change. As a Cedarfield team, our responsibility, in my opinion, and our calling is to partner with, is to advocate for, is to empower residents and team members during the lives that we are all gathered here and the time we're doing that. And to do this successfully, as we just heard at the top of the hour with Mr. Sam Neesmith, we need to be willing to sit down, to be present, to listen, especially when we're faced with some very difficult decisions. And I truly believe if we persevere in journeying together, we can retain the essence of diversity and inclusion thriving within Cedarfield and be an inspiration of expectation that peace and unity and advancement will certainly triumph. But it will take every day that we strive to learn and to grow together. I hope you all have a very peaceful, healthy, socially distant weekend. Management will certainly be here throughout the weekend. If you need any questions answered, feel free to call down to the concierge desk and they will get me any information that you need, or you can certainly contact any department director, anyone within the management team. We're pretty united right now in making phase one a reality and making sure that our campus is safe and inclusive. So with that, I am going to call up Trish Carter with some spiritual well-being and some good news, and then look for that song again from Alicia Keys, You Gotta Pray.
Good afternoon, Cedarfield. Before we get to our good news, won't you join me in a prayer? God of all that is and was and ever will be, you created us in your own image. Grant us grace fearlessly to contend against evil and to make no peace with oppression, and that we may reverently use our freedom. Help us to employ it in the maintenance of justice and to the glory of your name. We know that you created all in your image, and we thank you for the astonishing variety of races and cultures in our world. Enrich our lives by ever widening circles of friendship and show us your presence in those who differ most from us, until our knowledge of love is made perfect in our love for all your children. Grant that your holy and life-giving Spirit may so move every human heart that the barriers which divide us may crumble, that suspicions disappear, that hatreds would cease, and that with our divisions healed, we may live together in justice and in peace. Amen. And now for our good news. This young, almost 9-month-old sweetheart is Lucas James. He was finally able to be baptized on May 31st after having rescheduled it 3 times because of COVID. He is the first grandson of Lori Ryu. She said that she is so proud and that she did not know love like this existed before little Lucas James came into the world. So I am so hopeful with the new life and the baptism of this sweet boy. And congratulations, Lori Ryu.